Really returned to some good form, finishing second to Lacanda in the last Turf Series race. So horse number 3 is What a Welcome.
Number 4 is A Breath of Air, winner of a conditions race here last month over this course and distance. Was generally campaigned over 1,400 metres in the UK, but comes here then in good form. Breath of Air, partnered by Paul Hannigan for Alan Smith.
Horse number 5 then, there he is, the Bay with the plaits, beautifully turned out. That's What's the Story for Keith Dalgleish. Callum Rodriguez has his first ride in Bahrain. He won on him back in August. He knows the horse well from his time in the UK. He's come over here for the winter though. What's the Story? He finished 5th in the Bahrain Turf Series race 3 weeks ago. A real consistent horse though. What's the Story? Horse number 5.
And here is number 6, the Kovacs Kid. The horse has been in grand form overall in this calendar year of 2022, winning 6 times. Generally racing at around about 1,400 or 1,600 metres in Britain, but this sort of trip and further, not a problem here in Bahrain. And that's number 6, the Kovacs Kid.
Horse number 7 then, the grey, looks fantastic. This is Paxos, a horse that's formerly with Ed Walker, trained over here by Mohammed Hassan. Alberto Sanna takes the ride on this one, and he's having his first run this season in a Bahrain Turf Series race. He's been busy this season, but appearing in this Turf Series for the first time. That's horse number 7 in the colours of Alafu Racing. That is Paxos.
Number 8, having his first run in Bahrain, is Mr. Professor for Alice Haynes, Ammo Racing, and jockey Andrea Azzini. This is a horse who was placed in Dubai at Meydan last winter, but in 2022 has not troubled the judge for the top spot. Number 8, Mr. Professor.
Horse number 9 is Arctic Emperor in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing. Liam Canary takes the ride on this for trainer Hisham Al Haddad. He's having his 3rd start in Bahrain, and he was a good 3rd in the Bahrain Turf Series race behind Lukanda, staying on the same rating today. So fancied runner this one, number 9, Arctic Emperor.
Number 10 is Inigo Jones. We saw Inigo Jones race in the first leg of the Turf Series. To be fair, there were more horses in front of Inigo Jones than behind on that occasion. Now in the care of Jamie Osborne, Safi Osborne aboard, one of today's outsiders. Likely race for Sir Michael Stout back in the UK. That's number 10, Inigo Jones.
He's in front of 10. And last but not least, this is horse number 11, Box to Box, trained in the UK by Hugo Palmer. Pat Cosgrave takes the ride on this one, and a horse that finished a good 4th in the Bahrain Turf Series race a few weeks ago. Didn't perhaps get his best run. He likes to lead, he likes to be prominent. Comes here with every chance. That's horse number 11, Box to Box. So that's the bell then for the jockeys to mount for this 2nd Bahrain Turf Series race. This is the Aldana Cup, sponsored by ALBA, over 2,000 metres.
So the runners are now stepping out onto the course for the Aldana Cup, sponsored by ALBA. 2,000 metres being the trip, and out on the course there is Marie's Diamond. Marie's Diamond, the best turned out as well today, so congratulations to the team with Marie's Diamond. Marie's Diamond in the pink jacket with the blue star, Connor Beasley for Roger Fellstable. So the others now just coming out onto the track. Number 5 there is What's the Story, has the white with the blue stars. Callum Rodriguez is in the saddle aboard What's the Story, followed by very pale colours of Box to Box, the grey and pink jacket of Box to Box, and Pat Cosgrave. In shot there in the paddock, that's Breath of Air, Paul Hannigan in the blue with the white epaulets. Breath of Air, who was a winner last time over 1,600 metres. Mr. Professor, number 8. Mr. Professor has the blue colours, the purple colours, I should say, quarter cap for Ammo Racing. Andrea Zini for Alice Haynes. That's Mr. Professor. So runners then making their way to the start. Let's remind ourselves of what happened here a few weeks ago in the first leg over this course and distance in the Turf Series. So a bit of a form clue here. Thanks to Magical Wish on the inside of What's the Story. Just in behind those is Bond's Boy to the inside, running rail from What a Welcome. Box to Box in the pale jacket being driven along, purple colours of Lucanda. Arctic Emperor's got a bit of work to do from that position. Classical Wave is to the running rail and they're homeward bound. They fan out across the track. What's the Story down the centre, claims the advantage. Big run from What a Welcome. Lucanda, purple jacket, is up along the inside, heading down towards the last 200, and it's Lucanda who goes on now and quickly takes a few lengths out of this field. In second place is What a Welcome. Box to Box down the outside from What's the Story in Arctic Emperor. It's Lucanda for Pat Cosgrave and George Baker, and it's one for the visitors. Lucanda, a wide margin winner as well. What a Welcome, close call with Arctic Emperor for places. Then Box to Box, Tall Order was alongside What's the Story.
Well, that was the Al Maharik Cup over the same course and distance for the middle distance division in the Bahrain Turf Series race. Lucanda, the 5.5 length winner, easy victory for him in that race. Finishing behind him and really fighting for the places was What a Welcome. And actually 7 of today's runners, 7 of the horses in this race, 7 of the 11 ran in that race 3 weeks ago. So plenty of clues. Perhaps one that didn't get his usual running style was Box to Box. He likes to be prominent for trainer Hugo Palmer. Pat Cosgrave takes the ride on this one this afternoon, so he might be prominent, horse number 11, Box to Box. But an interesting new recruit to the division as such is the Kovacs kid. He's looking for his 5th win on the trot. He won twice at Brighton in the UK for Amy Murphy. Sold to come out here, trained by Hisham Al Haddad. He's won his first 2 starts and he makes his Bahrain Turf Series debut. The Kovacs kid, the mount of Neil Callan, and as I said, trained by Hisham Al Haddad. A number of horses in the race trained by Hisham. So the Kovacs kid is probably the leading fanciers amongst the 11 runners, but Arctic Emperor in the same colours also hugely fancied, as is Box to Box. So the 11 then heading down to the start, the 2,000 metre start, which they'll be heading then down towards the bottom turn of the race course, and will be due to get this race underway at 2:45 local time.
Yes, Ali, the runners then have just arrived at the start. We saw that galloping clue from a few weeks ago. If we're looking at that form, we are focusing on the horses who were placed that day, because it was a case of Lucanda first and the rest, well, they were just playing for places on that occasion. And you mentioned Box to Box. Box to Box was driven along a fair way from home that day, a horse who likes to front run, couldn't get to the front on that occasion. But the Kovacs Kid looking for his 7th win this calendar year. Runners then going into the stalls quickly. Inigo Jones, Arctic Emperor and Breath of Air, the last few to go in. Stand by for a start. All in. And they're off for the Aldana Cup, 2,000 metres in front of them. Marie's Diamond began well, as did Inigo Jones, who goes forward. It's Inigo Jones, Marie's Diamond, Mr. Professor, Purple Jacket racing keenly. Breath of Air's to the outside, Blue Colours noseband, and they're on top of the first turn. The leaders are being followed by What's the Story, and then slotting in behind Paxos the Grey, who's 3 wide into that bend with Box to Box to the inside, and overtaking Paxos with the Kovacs Kid getting a position on the inside running rail. Classical Wave, Arctic Emperor are towards the back, and the back marker is What a Welcome. They move on down the back straight inside the final 1400, and it's Inigo Jones, the pace set in the hands of Safi Osborne. Mr. Professor not getting any cover, still pretty keen. Marie's Diamond, Pink Jacket to the inside, being followed by Breath of Air. Then comes What's the Story, Paxos right around the field. On the rail, the Kovacs Kid, mid-division to Box, a couple of lengths further back to What a Welcome, who's in the cheap seats with Arctic Emperor and Classical Wave. They're leaving the back straight behind them. They have around about 800 to go, and it's Inigo Jones with a length advantage on the side of the course, followed by Breath of Air, Paul Hannigan, Marie's Diamond, Connor Beasley on the running rail, followed by Paxos, Mr. Professor, the Kovacs Kid, Box to Box, What's the Story, What a Welcome, Classical Wave, and Arctic Emperor is wagging the tail as they turn in. 600 to go. Inigo Jones has made all to this point. They come down the straight, still has a length and a half on Marie's Diamond, who comes under a ride. A Breath of Air still in close contention. One screaming for racing room is the Kovacs Kid, who's forced to switch to the inside with Classical Wave against the running rail. Out wide, What a Welcome's coming home nicely from off the pace, heading down towards the last 200. Inigo Jones in front, but the door is open on the inside for the Kovacs Kid, and the Kovacs Kid doesn't need any second invitation with 100 metres left to go. It's the Kovacs Kid who's on this winning roll. Neil Callan aboard the Kovacs Kid. That's 7 wins this calendar year. The Kovacs Kid, the winner. Tight places. What a Welcome, and Inigo Jones. Marie's Diamond just in behind, followed home by Arctic Emperor and Classical Wave. So the Kovacs Kid has done it. The Kovacs Kid, he's a winning machine. He's a superstar, the Kovacs Kid, ridden by Neil Callan. Neil's second success of the day here at the Bahrain Turf Club. And the Kovacs Kid wins for the 7th time this calendar year. Horses generally raced around about 1,400 and 1,600 metres in Britain. Stepped up in trip here in Bahrain. And in the end, I mean, he would have been an unlucky loser because he was crying for racing room. We're just watching the head-on replay now, heading down towards the last 400. Good positive ride from Safi Osborne aboard Inigo Jones. And the Kovacs Kid at this stage was looking for a way through, was doing the hokey-cokey, was going left, was going right, was just looking for that gap, heading down towards the final 200. Got the gap up the inside, didn't need any second invitation, and the Kovacs Kid has strode away. And in the end, Neil Callan had the luxury of easing down with the race all parcelled up in safekeeping. So excellent effort from the Kovacs Kid. What a Welcome's run on for places with Inigo Jones, who's run a big race from the front, but he's done it again. The Kovacs Kid, the winner.
Well, let's have a word then with Neil again. It's a treble for Al Mohammedia Racing, a double for Neil Callan, and the Kovacs Kid, very impressive, Neil, giving you, it wasn't the easiest route through.
Yeah, well, I just kind of, they fan out a little bit in the straight, and two of them in front just kind of came back on my lap a little bit, but I didn't panic. I just kind of waited, kind of found a little bit of space, and let him come when he was ready. But he gives you so much confidence, this horse. He travels, and he doesn't, when you push the button, he doesn't like react instant. He kind of like, you build him up, and then he just does everything to please you. He's a nice horse, and he's a nice buy by Sheikh Sultan to bring him here.
Yeah, he had 2 wins in the UK for Amy Murphy. He's come out here. You've ridden him in his previous 2 starts. Do you still see, improvement for him?
Oh, 100%. This horse has done nothing but improve. And the great thing about him is that he's just, as a character, he's just so straightforward. He's so chilled. He travels, he relaxes, he picks up. Whatever you ask him to do, he does. I'm just a passenger. But it's a round of applause for His Highness Sheikh Sultan to find this horse by him. And a few people thought he was a bit expensive, but I don't think he's looking expensive now.
Well, no, absolutely. Nice to get victory in the Bahrain Turf Series race. Another one for you.
Thank you. Yes, fantastic.
Well done then. Let's hear a big round of applause then when he comes into the winner's enclosure. A treble, as I said, for Al Mohammedia Racing. This time the winner was the Kovacs kid, the winner of the Aldana Cup for Neil Callan and Hisham Al Haddad.
So let's take the result of our 4th race of the day, the second of our Turf Series contest, the Aldana Cup over 2,000 metres. First, number 6, the Kovacs Kid. Second, number 3, What a Welcome. Third, number 10, Inigo Jones. Fourth, number 1, Marie's Diamond. And fifth, number 2, Classical Wave. The distances 2 1/4 lengths and half a length, 2 1/4 lengths and half a length, and the official time of the winning horse, 2 minutes 01.879. 2 minutes 01.879. Yet another success for the Kovacs Kid, and what a winning team we've got here in Al Mohammedia Racing. Their 3rd winner of the day, Hisham Al Haddad and Neil Callan, teaming up with More Glory.
Well, let's have a word then with winning trainer Hisham Al Haddad, part of the Fauzi Nas stable. Hisham, and this horse has had 2 fantastic starts here in Bahrain, but this very much a step up in class. You must be delighted that he really proved his ability.
Yeah, we were very happy with his performance today. We were a bit worried because, as you mentioned earlier, the 2 races that he ran, it was with a lower class. Very strong company today. I think Neil managed to drive him to the finish line very well, although he faced some traffic, but congratulations to the whole connections.
And just how important, how much do the yard want to be part of these Bahrain Turf Series races and want to be back here in the winner's enclosure after all your success last season?
Of course, it puts some more pressure because people want us to remain on the top and always ask questions if you fail. I think we had an extraordinary season last year, but we'll try to keep it up this season as well.
You're doing very well. Congratulations then, our winning trainer, Hisham Al Haddad.
Thank you very much, Ali.
So they come now to the trophy presentation for our second Bahrain Turf Series race. This is the Al Dana Cup for the middle distance horses. And we welcome yet again His Excellency Sheikh Dej bin Salman bin Dej Al Khalifa, the chairman of the board of directors for Aluminium Bahrain. We're very grateful to our sponsors here this afternoon and to all connected with Aluminium Bahrain. And as we can see then, connections of the Kovacs kid, who are victorious in this Al Dana Cup. We welcome onto stage winning jockey Neil Callan, winning trainer Hisham Al Haddad, Abdullah, and also our winners then, Al Mohammedia Racing, His Highness Sheikh Sultan bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, alongside his brothers, His Highness Sheikh Hashim, His Highness Sheikh Ali, His Highness Sheikh Nada, enjoying this victory as a family. The Kovacs kid, winner of the Al Dana Cup. Well, let's grab a quick word with Safi Osborne then, who finished third on Inigo Jones, but led for most of the way. A good run, a frustrating run in a way.
Yeah, he ran brilliantly. He built on his previous run here, and which nothing really went his way. He was sort of out the back, and I ran into a lot of trouble the last day, whereas today he got things really on his own and got to do everything in his own way, and he ran really well.
Would you feel this distance is his ideal trip out here?
I think he could be even more competitive over a mile because you can be even more confident to sort of make the running and sort of let him use his cruising speed, which is extremely good. He doesn't really have a turn of foot, but he'll stay going.
Certainly improvement on his last finish, where he finished in 10th, third this time. So I'm sure they'll be sort of creeping up the places, hopefully for the next Bahrain Turf Series race. But for you, nice to be back here riding. You were based out here last season, but you're sort of flying in and out.
Yeah, I love it here, and it's great to have a few opportunities to come out here this winter as well as Dubai. We love the Middle East and especially love Bahrain, so it's just great to be back here.
Well, lovely to see you. Good luck in the rest of the season.
Thanks, Ali.
Well, delighted to be joined once again by His Highness Sheikh Sultan Al Khalifa, winning owner with Al Mohammedia Racing, a treble on the card here this afternoon. But the Kovacs kid, you were worried because it's very much a step up in class, but what a performance by him.
Yes, we are really happy and we thank the trainer Hisham Al Haddad. Did a great job with the horse, and it was a big ask for him. He ran last week. Handicap 0 to 85, and he won. So we thought now we'll ask, and I think it was a big ask, and he proved it again. And I think this horse is improving all the time. Jockey is happy, trainer, all the team, they're happy with him. So we're hoping plenty to come yet.
I'm sure that there's going to be improvements still to come, as Neil said. But look, I know how much trainer Amy Murphy was disappointed to lose this horse from her yard. You obviously go over in the summer, very much focusing on the horses and training sales in the UK, particularly at Tattersalls. What are you looking for? Why were horses like this so perfect for running out here?
Well, to be honest, Amy Murphy wasn't unhappy. She was happy that she sold him. She got money enough, and she was really delighted, and I thank her. I got a really nice horse of Amy, and yes, so we are happy that he proved it in Bahrain and improving all the time.
Al Mohammedia Racing treble so far this afternoon. I know you had 5 winners the other day out here. Do you feel you're having your best season yet?
Well, inshallah, the coming is best to come. And we're hoping all the new horses that we have, the imported and the local, will run in a month or 2 months' time before the end of the season. And we have new horses that they're coming, and hopefully there is more winners coming.
I'm sure they're going to be, but as I touched on earlier, it's very much a family affair. You enjoy this with your brothers. How much does each victory satisfaction give you?
Yes, to be honest, it means a lot. It means a lot for us and the family and the brothers and cousins, everybody. I'd be happy for all my family, and they'd be happy for me.
Thank you so much for talking to us. His Highness Sheikh Sultan, winning owner as part of Al Mohammedia Racing, and very much having a fabulous season this year, and plenty more runners I think he's got on the rest. Horse number 4 then is Wathab, trained by Abdullah Haj and ridden by Hussein Maki this afternoon, yet to record a win. Finished down the field when we last saw him at the beginning of December, so looking to improve on that. Horse number 4, Wathab.
Number 5 is Snake Eyes. Would probably be the complete outsider here on form. Snake Eyes, who ran here last week but was beaten an awful long way. That's number 5, Snake Eyes.
Horse number 7 then, Atlal. Another one in the Al Mohammedia racing colours, looking for a 4-timer here today, trained by Hisham Al Haddad, ridden by Stefan Lajaj. This one is only having she's having her second start. She finished 4th with Rosie Jessup just a couple of weeks ago. So having her second start then is horse number 7, Atlal.
And number 6 is Bint Al Jazeera. Has been off the course since late November, was a midfield finisher over 1,800 metres on that occasion. But what about this team? Al Mohammedia Racing, Hisham Al Haddad and Neil Callan. They can walk on water today. Bint Al Jazeera.
Well, just to reflect a little bit more on the Bahrain Turf Series races, I'm joined by British trainer Richard Fahy. Richard, what did you make of those two competitive races?
As you say, the word competitive, they've been a very competitive race. The sprint was very competitive. I mean, it's up to Class 2, Class 1 handicaps in England. You need a decent horse to come here and win. And great to see Sheikh Sultan's whatever win. And the second winner was extremely impressive, a very progressive horse. I'm just delighted. I didn't run my horses today. They'll run later in the week.
Yeah, you've got a couple out here. How are they, and when are we expected to see them?
Yeah, Kunan will probably run on Friday at the local meeting, and the other horse, he's just struggling to really come to himself, but we will sort of drop him in grade, and delighted they didn't run today, put it like that.
Do you feel that the Turf Series is very much building on its inaugural year from last year? Better international horses have come out. It is more, I guess, more competitive. I mean, it's always last year nail-biting sort of tactics between the local trainers and then the international ones, but there's a better team here this year, isn't there?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's great for Bahrain racing there. It gets the competitiveness with, I mean, all the Bahraini owners are very competitive, and they like competing, and there was a great buzz before boat races today, so it's doing well considering it's only its second year, and I'm sure it's going to get better and better and better.
And you're here not as a trainer today because you've got no runners, but as you say, you've got the horses here. But you enjoy coming out to enjoy the hospitality here?
Yeah, I've never been here where I haven't been well looked after, and I feel like I'm being a little bit spoiled. I actually had a lie-in this morning, which I don't think I've done for 20 years, so it must mean I'm relaxed, so it's a great place.
Well, great to see you here. Thank you very much. Good luck for the following weeks with your horses then. Richard Fahy, thanks.
Thank you.
So runners going into the starting stalls for the Aluminium Bahrain ALBA Cup for the locally bred thoroughbreds, field of 6 with the headgear there, the blindfold on Maghera, who's in the pink and grey colours, a horse who won last time. Maghera goes in, Snake Eyes and Battle of Talas to go forward. Battle of Talas, a winner here last week. This is Snake Eyes in the black and white jacket. And Snake Eyes goes in, Andrew Breslin's mount, and there's Paul Hannigan aboard Battle of Talus, who will complete the lineup over 2,200 metres. They're all in. And they're off. Maghera began well, but is instantly passed by Atlal. Atlal heading towards that first turn in the inside running rail. White cap of Bint Al Jazeera is getting a position. Bint Al Jazeera and Atlal dispute the lead. They're about 3 or 4 lengths in advance of Snake Eyes. Another 2.5 to Battle of Talus, followed by Maghera, and at the back, Wathab. Going down the side of the track, heading now towards the back straight, and it is Bint Al Jazeera. Neil Callan is dictating the early fractions, leads by 1.5 lengths, followed by Atlal, and then a length or so to Snake Eyes, with Battle of Talus, Paul Hannigan's mount in the dark blue colours to the outside, chased by Maghera and Wathab, who's locked away on the inside running rail, now just passing Maghera. So they head on down the back straight. And the pace looks pretty gentle now as they move on down the far side with 1,400 still to go. It's Bint Al Jazeera, the leader, with Snake Eyes parked out. Atlal behind the leaders, followed by Battle of Talus, who's looking to win again. Wathab in the blue and yellow is up along the rail, and Maghera now finds herself in last place as they have less than 1,200 to go. Bint Al Jazeera heading to the end of the back straight, in front by just over a length. The white face of Snake Eyes holding second place. Atlal red cap to the rail in third. A break then of 1.5 lengths to Battle of Talus, followed by Wathab, and Maghera is still last of all as they make the run inside the final 800. No change up front, with Bint Al Jazeera in front of Snake Eyes. Atlal still stalks them. Battle of Talus to the outside, yet to be unleashed by Paul Hannigan at the top of the straight. Wathab been asked to pick up. Maghera still last with 600 to go, and now Bint Al Jazeera is going for home, increases the tempo and still leads by a couple of lengths from Atlal, Snake Eyes, and now Battle of Talus with the outside coming there with a big run for Paul Hannigan, just carrying his head to one side, but Battle of Talus is getting to Bint Al Jazeera as they head down towards the last 200. It's Battle of Talus being coaxed into the lead from Bint Al Jazeera in second. Maghera is back in third, and then comes the weakening Atlal, and eventually inside the last 100 metres, Battle of Talus is on top. Battle of Talus will win again. Second place, Bint Al Jazeera. Maghera's in third. Daylight to the others. Atlal fourth place, followed by Wathab, and Snake Eyes is last in. So Battle of Talus has won it. Number 1, Paul Hannigan and Alan Smith teaming up here. Alan's 25th success of the season. Paul Hannigan on the board again, the leading jockey this season here in Bahrain so far. Battle of Talus just carried his head to one side, but he got on top of the situation, and inside the last 100 metres he had the race won from Bint Al Jazeera, who was given that front-running ride by Neil Callan, increased the tempo at the top of the straight, but Battle of Talus was too strong in the end. A winner last week, and certainly in form, notching up this success today. Battle of Talus number 1, the provisional winner of race 5, the Aluminium Bahrain ALBA Cup for the locally breds. So that's a second success for Battle of Talus.
Let's have a word then with winning jockey Paul Hannigan. Paul, you won on this horse just last week, a quick turnaround. He's a beautiful looking horse. How did it all pan out for you?
Yeah, really chuffed with him. It was a quick run and he's backed it up really well, and he's maturing, you know, physically and mentally, and I couldn't be more pleased with him.
He didn't necessarily look the easiest in the last few furlongs, but he did the job.
Yeah, I mean, it's his third run. You know, he's still a baby, so he's got a lot to learn still, but he's going the right way.
And you're enjoying the season here. I haven't spoken to you too many times, but I know that you're absolutely sort of, you know, clocking up the winners. You're certainly enjoying the partnership with Al Adiat Racing.
Yeah, enjoying life.
That's good to hear. Congratulations then to our winning jockey, Paul Hannigan, in the colours of Al Adiat Racing. Battle of Talus, the victorious horse in the ALUMINIUM BAHRAIN Cup for the local bred horses. Congratulations also to winning trainer Alan Smith.
Results of the fifth race today at the ALUMINIUM BAHRAIN ALBA Cup. First, number 1, a Battle of Talus. Second, number 6, Bint Al Jazeera. Third, number 3, Maghira. And fourth was number 7, Atlal. The distances 2 lengths and 2 3/4 lengths. That's 2 lengths and 2 3/4 lengths. And the official time of the winning horse, 2 minutes 24.031. 2 minutes 24.031. Battle of Talus in good form. That's 2 straight wins now for number 1, Battle of Talus.
Let's have a quick word with winning trainer then, Alan Smith. And Josh, your grandson, nice to get a winner on a big day with the family here.
Yeah, they're over for Christmas, so yeah, it's nice to get a good winner.
Now, Battle of Talus, he's a beautiful horse, as I said to Paul. He's big and he's strong, he's got a lovely stride. How do you rate him at home?
Well, he just changed so much from race to race. You know, I think he's going to be a very nice horse, probably a King Cup horse.
So a bright future then for Battle of Talus. And for you, how do you reflect on your runners in the Turf Series races?
Just wasn't our day. Just put it like that. Yeah, no, I mean, they were all fit and well and they come back safe and sound. Just didn't quite go as we planned out.
So no big race victories, but as I touched on with Paul, you guys have a fantastic season. How would you rank it so far or compared to other seasons?
Yeah, no, we're having a very good season. Paul was fitted into the stable very well, and you know, he's still getting to know a lot of the horses, but he's doing a good job.
And have we got a budding young trainer here?
Well, I think he might turn into a jockey. He could be small enough. Hey?
You enjoy riding, Josh?
Say yes.
No. Oh, no. Brilliant. There we go. Thank you very much, Alan Smith and his grandson, Josh. So we come to the trophy presentation of this fifth race at Aluminium Bahrain ALBA Cup over 2,200 metres. Victory went to Battle of Talis in the colours of Adiat Racing, and we welcome onto stage His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa to receive the trophy from the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Aluminium Bahrain, His Excellency Sheikh Dej bin Salman bin Dej Al Khalifa. So well done. Then also to winning jockey Paul Hannigan, winning trainer Alan Smith, who has his grandson Josh up there to receive the trophy. Battle of Talis, victorious in the Aluminium Bahrain Cup.
So let's look forward now to our sixth race of the day, a really open-looking handicap for the locally bred thoroughbreds, the Aluminium Bahrain ALBA Cup. Number 1 is Mishawiya and Salem Al Ajmi. 2 is Kawafi, Adnan Jaffa. 3, Jabara, Francesco de Tori. 4, KTL, de Juro Mutard. 5 is Musique de Nui and Edison Rodriguez. 6, Madar, Hassan Al-Safa. 7, Lyra, Stefan Lajaj. 8, Lahoug and Pat Cosgrave. 9 is Shaddad and Rosie Jessup. 10, The Blue Dane, Andrew Elliott. 11, Wafia, partnered by Hussein Maki. 12, Sala, Andrew Breslin. And number 13, Jadlar and Marcellus Juras. Open-looking handicap coming up over a mile, 1,600 metres for race 6, the Aluminium Bahrain ALBA Cup.
Let's have a look at these horses then for our sixth race. This one over 1,600 metres, another race for the local breds, a handicap. Here is horse number 1, Mishawiya. One of a number of mares or fillies in the race. It's a 5-year-old mare trained by Hadi Ibrahim. Salim Al-Ajmi takes the ride. And a horse that won last time out, a 2-time winner, won back at the beginning of December, a good victory over Samurai Jack that time. So horse number 1, certainly one to watch out for, is Mishawiya.
Moving on to number 3, this is Jabara. Francesco Dettori is aboard Jabara. Ran last week and was third behind Andante here over the straight 1200, so steps up to 1600 today. That's number 3, Jabara.
Horse number 4, Katie Elder for Jerome Moutard, in the colours of Nasser Ali, Jassim Abdullah. Abdullah Kuwaiti's the trainer, and she ran back at the beginning, or just last week rather, December the 23rd. So quick turnaround for Katie Elder. Finished down the field that time, but has some good placings in her runs before that. So horse number 4, Katie Elder.
Moving on to number 5, Musique de la Nuit. It's fair to say this horse would be one of the outsiders today. Finished last when last seen, but that was back in January. So returns from a summer break, autumn break. Edison Rodriguez aboard for Alan Smith. Musique de la Nuit, number 5.
Horse number 6 is Madar. She's trained by Jafar Radi, and Anis Al-Sayabi is going to take the ride on this one, taking over from Robert Tart, who rode her a few weeks ago when she finished 4th behind Athba. This is horse number 6 then, the mare Madar.
On to number 8. This is La Hougue, winner of 1 race. And La Hougue comes here having finished unplaced. That was last week over the straight 1,200 metres. Number 8, La Hougue, the mount of Pat Cosgrave.
Horse number 9 is Shaddad. Rosie Jessup takes this ride on this horse, who's a one-time winner out here. Salahuddin Al-Bastaki is the trainer of horse number 9, Shaddad.
Number 10 is the Blue Dane. Andrew Elliott teaming up with Alan Smith and Victorious, and the Blue Dane was down the field over the straight 1,200 last time. The Blue Dane, one of the outsiders.
Hussein Maki then on board horse number 11, Wafire. This trained by Samir Daewoo, and she ran last seen back in mid-November, finishing down the placings there. So hoping for some improvement then for horse number 11, Wafire.
Number 13 is Jadlar, and Jadlar was last seen in action a few weeks ago over 1,400 metres, was beaten over 12 lengths when finishing 10th of 13 runners. So another one of the outsiders here, the filly Jadlar.
There is horse number 12, Asala, the mare, trained by Salahuddin Al-Bastaki and ridden by Andrew Breslin. And she's a maiden. Around at the beginning of December behind Mishawir. So horse number 12 is going straight out, didn't go into the parade ring. That is Asala.
Number 2, Kawafi, and Kawafi there already arriving at the start in the purple with the white spots, and Kawafi has already been placed this season, was third 2 outings ago, was just out of the frame last time over 1,400 metres. Number 2, Kawafi.
There's horse number 7, Lyra, trained by Hisham Al-Haddad, went down straight to the start, didn't come into the parade ring. Stefan Lajaj riding this one, and she ran, she ran just last week, finishing 7th behind Andante, and comes here from the powerful yard of Hisham Al-Haddad and Fauzi Nas. That's horse number 7, Lyra. And I'm delighted to be joined by Ibrahim Nada, leading jockey, or top jockey out here in Bahrain. Ibrahim, not riding in this race, 13 runners. How do you sort of see it panning out?
Yeah, there is 4 horses, which is number 1 and 2 and 3. They're the best on this race. So there is outsider, I think, the horse Lahoug. He has the advantage of the weight. So it is an open race, you know.
Open race, but you see it between the top 3. You've ridden Mishawir, then the top horse, a few starts ago, back in the beginning of this year, rather. Is that the one that you'd be siding with if you had the choice of any runners in the race?
Yeah, Mashawir, she ran last time with a better class from these horses. And I think today she have 3 kgs advantage. So she's the best, I think, in this race.
And how's this season panning out for you? I know you spent the summer in the UK. Coming out here, are you enjoying your best season so far?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm the 2nd jockey now. So hopefully I'll be at the top for the rest of the season.
And for you, I can see the kids behind you in the turf village. It's great that there's more and more atmosphere here, and sort of the children there really very much wanting to look up to you and perhaps sort of follow in your footsteps with the option to become and come and ride here and become a jockey.
Yeah, hopefully I hope they can ride in the future. So hopefully I see them in the future and I can help them.
Well, look, thank you very much for joining us. Ibrahim Nada, then, one of the popular jockeys in the weighing room here. I know he's got his legion of fans who are hanging over the rails there, who give him a cheer every time he passes by. Thank you then, Ibrahim.
The horses have arrived at the start now. 13 runners down at the start for this ALUMINIUM BAHRAIN ALBA Cup. One horse dismounted there is Jadlar. Looks as though some adjustments are being made to the saddle and tack with number 13, Jadlar. So 13 runners at the post for race 6.
Joined now by Abdullah Faisal, who isn't riding here this afternoon. But Abdullah, give us your thoughts on this race.
This race, I prefer Mashawir. I went on her last time. When I went on her, it was 2,000 meter, and she went easy. And I think on 1,600, she's much better. And you have Jabbar as well and Khawafi. But I think Mashawir, she's better class.
And how important is the draw over this distance, the 1,600 metres? Mishawir's drawn in number 10. How influential can it be over this distance?
Sure, it's a draw number 10. It's too wild, but for 1,600 is okay because you have, it's like 800 meters to find your position. So and this filly, she preferred to stay outside. Better than inside. So draw 10, I think it's no problem for Mashawir today.
And Salim Al-Ajami taking a handy 3 kilograms off Mishawir. Tell me a bit about Salim. He's one of the young upcoming jockeys here as part of the jockey school.
No, he's from Kuwait. He's not from Bahrain, but he's a very good apprentice. He won a lot of races in Kuwait, and I think Mashawir, it's no problem the weight for her, because when I went on her it was 62 kilo.
Brilliant. Thank you very much there. The thoughts of Abdullah Faisal as they're loading for our 6th race.
Thanks, Ali. Yes, race 6 then, a very competitive handicap for the locally bred thoroughbreds, and just a few more runners to go into the starting stalls at the mile start, 1,600 metres, starting in the chute at the entrance to the back straight. Still out of line, number 8, Lahoug, Madar, number 6 in the pink colours, and also Katie Elders in the blue and white jacket. Also Musique de la Nuit, number 5, is another one to low. So last few to go in for our 6th race of the day. Blindfold fitted to Musique de la Nuit. Lahoug is still to go. And Katie Elder in the blue and white jacket. Random placed here last week. Pat Cosgrave taking the ride aboard Lahoug. Katie Elder and Jérôme Moutard. Two to go. Lahoug has gone in. The blindfold fitted to Katie Elder for stalls entry. Lahoug coming out of stall number 3. Katie Elder will come out of stall number 2. So Katie Elder stepping into place. Field of 13. All in. They're off. Asalar was rather sleepy at the start, lost a few lengths, and away smartly was Jabara to the inside, with the Blue Dane going forward in the red cap. Lahoug just in behind the leaders. Also handy is Kawafi as they get their early positions through the first 200 metres or so. Shaddad, a black cap, is wide on the field, followed by Lyra. Back in mid-division comes Jadlar, and parked widest of all is Mishawir in the 2 shades of blue. Right at the back after that slow start is Asalar. Going towards the end of the back straight, bit of pace on for the lead, with Jabara on the inside of the Blue Dane, and 3 wide is Shaddad as they leave the back straight. Kawafi, Lyra and Lahoug, they are following, followed by Mishawir, who's about 4 deep. Katie Elder going the shortest way from Musique de la Nuit. Jadlar is racing alongside Wafire, and then a couple of lengths to Madar has just been squeezed along clear of Asala. 600 metres left to go. Top of the straight beckons. Jabara's in front by 1.5 lengths to Shaddad down the centre, with every chance for the Blue Dane. Kawafi, Lahoug, Katie Elder, with Wafire looking for a way through, heading down towards the final 300, and it's Jabara in front. Kawafi is coming at Jabara. They're the front two. Lahoug is just in behind them with Katie Elder. Lyra is on the extreme outside, followed by Wafire. 200 to go. Kawafi the leader from Lyra, and between winning horses is Wafire as they head towards the finish. Kawafi, Lyra to the wide outside. Wafire between runners. It's Kawafi doing enough. Kawafi the winner. Wafire, Lyra involved for places along with Jabara on the inside, and they were chased home by Musique de la Nuit. So Kawafi has won it. Kawafi, number 2 in the purple and white colours, partnered by Adnan Jaffer and trained by Osama Hashim, and Osama's second success of the day. It certainly got really busy inside the last 200 there. Kawafi, Lyra, Wafire and Jabara all in close contention. Musique de la Nuit was just in behind them, but it was Kawafi who just did enough there. Kawafi, it's close for second place between Wafire and Lyra. Just in behind those was Jabara ahead of Musique de la Nuit. So Kawafi, number 2, the provisional winner of race 6.
Well, some delighted connections then of Kawafi coming down the track. What a competitive finish. What a cracking finish. Well done to winning jockey Adnan Jaffer. Let's have a quick word then with Adnan. Adam, that one meant a lot to you, didn't it?
Thank you very much. I am so happy I won today. I will thank you, Osama Hashim, for giving me this chance today. Thank you very much.
Why does this win mean so much to you?
Sorry?
Why does this win mean so much to you?
What you got for us? Finish.
You can see the emotion there on Adnan's face. Congratulations then. A really important win to him. He is absolutely delighted then. Well done to Adnan Jaffer, our winning trainer on Kawafi, trained by Osama Hashim. And he's certainly going to get a great cheer from his fans then as he comes back into the winner's enclosure. Adnan Jaffer on board Kawafi.
Result of race 6, the locally bred handicappers in action. Number 2, Kawafi, the winner. First, number 2, Kawafi. Second, number 11, Wafire. Third, number 7, Lyra. Fourth was number 3, Jabara. And fifth, number 5, Musique de la Nuit. The distances, a neck and a short head, a neck and a short head. And the official time of the winning horse, 1 minute 41.338. That's 1 minute 41.338.
So we come to the trophy presentation for our 6th race. This for the local bred horses over 1,600 metres. Again, thank you to our generous sponsors, Aluminium Bahrain, for their kind sponsorship this afternoon, kind support. And we welcome up once again His Excellency Sheikh Dej bin Salman bin Dej Al Khalifa, the chairman of the board of directors for Aluminium Bahrain. Here comes our winning jockey then at the run, Adnan Jaffer, enjoying his first victory here for a few years. The Bahraini jockey certainly enjoyed it. Aboard Kawafi, trained by Osama Hashim. Well done then. Kawafi, the winner of our 6th race at Aluminium Bahrain Cup.
And now we're on to race 7, and this is a domestic Grade 2 race coming up, the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup. It's over 1,600 metres. Number 1 is Mr. McCann, Paul Hannigan. 2, May Star, Alberto Sanna. 3, Memento, Francesco Dettori. 4, Shebil Al Jazeera, that is Liam Canary's mount. 5, Chimgan and Neil Callan.
So horse number 1, Mr. McCann for Paul Hannigan and Alan Smith, looking for a double here this afternoon. This one really fancied. He's having his 2nd start in Bahrain. He won a domestic Grade 2 last time out on the 11th of November. And he was a 4-time winner previously in the UK for Hugo Palmer and Tom Dascombe. Comes here with a big reputation, came out to Bahrain with a big reputation. He's lived up to it so far. He's looking for his 2nd victory on the trot. Horse number 1, Mr. McCann.
And the one we're looking at there is number 5. This is Chimgan, probably the main the danger to the to Mr. McCann. Chimgan, Neil Callan is aboard. Osama Hashim trains. Al Muhammadiyah Racing owns. All the connections have had a really good day at the office, and Chimgan is having a really good campaign as well, looking for his 3rd success on the trot. That's number 5, Chimgan.
Horse number 3, Memento, a 4-year-old son of Memas, ridden by Francesco Dettori and trained by Mohammed Hassan. Another Archie Watson horse sold in July to come out here, having his 3rd start in Bahrain. Finished well behind Mr. McCann on his 1st start. And he's looking to improve on his first 2 runs. That's horse number 3, Memento.
Number 2 is Maystar, the stable companion to Memento in the colours of Al Afu Racing. And Maystar ran just a week ago, finishing a close 4th on that occasion. That's number 2, Maystar.
Well, this race sponsored by Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery, and I'm delighted to be joined by founder Humphrey himself. Humphrey, what is it about racing out in Bahrain? Why did you want to get involved with the company here?
Well, my 2 great loves in the world are racing and jewellery. I thought I've had no great exposure in the Middle East. I was easily persuaded. I've had a marvellous welcome. I think the track's fantastic. Very happy to be here.
Tell me a little bit about the company.
I had an auctioneer's background. I worked for Christie's 23 years, and I set up the company on my own in the millennium. So I've been going 22 years. We are London-based with offices in Pall Mall, and we've got a good profile now, which is lovely. But it's lovely to raise it out here.
And how much are you enjoying is your first trip to Bahrain?
It certainly is my first trip to Bahrain. Yeah, loving it.
Well, look, thank you so much for your generous support then of the race course here, and enjoy the rest of your trip out here.
I'm looking forward to the rest of it. Thank you.
And you can see some of those fine jewels, Humphrey Butler jewels there on the big screen, beautifully worn. Antique jewellery, they specialise in. Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery, sponsors of our 7th race.
The runners are now stepping out onto the track for our 7th race. So this is a domestic Grade 2 race coming up over 1,600 metres, the mile for the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup. Start for this race over on the far side of the course in the chute at the entrance of the back straight. Field of 5 making their way out onto the course. Horse in vision is Memento. That's number 3, Memento. Francesco Dettori is in the saddle. Memento, who was down the field when last seen running over the sprint distance of 1,200. Memento in the red with a black chevron, black cap for ALBA Racing. Let's pick up number 2. This is May Star. Wears the red hood to go to the start. Alberto Sanna in board. Trained by Mohammed Hassan, as is Memento. May Star has finished 4th in his last 2 efforts. Not been all that far behind Giustino here in November. Number 2, May Star, has got the red cap as opposed to Memento's in the black cap. This is number 4, Shebil Al Jazeera, and Liam Canary in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing has the red cap. Finished 3rd earlier on this month. Winner of 4 races, Shebil Al Jazeera. And Chimgan, the stable companion. Neil Callan in the saddle aboard Chimgan, who's looking for his 3rd win on the bounce. Impressive winner here recently. Chimgan's got the white cap, number 5. And Mr. McCann comes in with a big reputation, this 3-year-old who's got that win on the board back in November. That was his first and only start in Bahrain, Mr. McCann. He's won 5 races in total. Winner at Haydock over a mile in August. Paul Hannigan, Alan Smith and Al Adiat Racing. Number 1, Mr. McCann in the blue with the white epaulets and the blue cap. So the runners now arriving at the start for race 7, the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup, a Grade 2 contest.
Well, the horses then circling down at the start for this domestic Grade 2 run over the mile, a 1,600 metre start. And the hot fancy is Mr. McCann, just a 3-year-old son of Kodiak. Al Adiat Racing, Paul Hannigan and Alan Smith having a fantastic season. This horse won a domestic Grade 2 back in November and looking to follow up on that victory. Was a good winner over in the UK, 4-time winner previously for Hugo Palmer and Ton Dascombe, as he was based up at Michael Owen's yard in Cheshire. Mr. McCann who's part of the Liverpool football setup. He was one of the behind-the-scenes men up there, Mr. McCann, and this horse previously owned by a group of Liverpool footballers. Purchased the Tattersalls horses in training sales this summer and has been doing fantastically out here. That's horse number 1, Mr. McCann. Chimgan, horse number 5 in the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing. Neil Callan takes the ride for Osama Hashim, another 3-year-old in the race. Has been a good winner out here, 4-time winner in Bahrain, including his last 2 runs. So a potential improver, stepping up though in class. Chimgan, he's won his last 2 handicaps and could be a threat to Mr. McCann. As they start to load, let's hand over to Darren.
Thanks, Ali. Yes, runners going in. Won't be long. Just the 5 to go forward. Shebel Al Jazeera has been dismounted down at the start. Will go into the starting stalls, be reunited with Liam Canary in the gates. So we're just waiting on Shebel Al Jazeera for this domestic Grade 2, the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup over 1,600 metres. Stand by for a start, all in. And they're racing. Awkward start for May Star with Shebel Al Jazeera bouncing really well from the starting stalls, and up along the inside is Chimgan. Out wide, Mr. McCann rather keen in the early run. Memento's behind runners, and last of all May Star. Going on down the far side and dictating the early pace is Shebel Al Jazeera with Mr. McCann trying to apply pressure. Chimgan white cap just in behind them, followed by Memento and May Star, and they're now on the sweep away from the back. So it is Shebel Al Jazeera in front in pole position by 1.5 lengths. Mr. McCann's raced keenly with zest on the outside for Paul Hannigan. Chimgan and Neil Callan holding 3rd place, followed by Memento. May Star is last of all. They're inside the final 800 and they approach the turn with Shebel Al Jazeera and Mr. McCann 1 and 2, Chimgan 3, Memento 4, May Star last of the 5 as they turn in 600 metres from the conclusion. And it is Shebel Al Jazeera kicking at the top of the straight, leads by 2 lengths to Chimgan. Mr. McCann is certainly in the clear now for Paul Hannigan. Widest of all is Memento, and May Star's trying to get competitive. They're inside the final 400. It's Shebel Al Jazeera and Chimgan. Mr. McCann yet to pick up fully. On the wide outside is Memento, heading down towards the last 200 metres, and Shebel Al Jazeera is making them all go here, making them all work. Chimgan's in 2nd place. On the outside, May Star and Memento. It is Shebel Al Jazeera is trying to hold on. They're coming at Shebel Al Jazeera. Shebel Al Jazeera from Chimgan. Shebel Al Jazeera, the winner. Shebel Al Jazeera, the winner. Chimgan in a close call with Memento for places and May Star in the mix. And Mr. McCann was the last one in. Shebel Al Jazeera has won, and it's another one for Al Mohammedia Racing. That's 4 wins on the day. Osama Hashim has had 3 winners. Liam Canary in the saddle on this occasion and made all the running, Shebel Al Jazeera, and fended them all off inside the last 100. Chimgan certainly held every chance, and the 2 Alafu Racing runners down the outside, Memento, black cap, red cap of May Star. They're involved in the mix there for the places. No doubt about the winner, number 4, Shebel Al Jazeera. I suppose the talking point of the race was Mr. McCann's run there. Mr. McCann a little bit keen, didn't get the cover, a little bit keen, and has ultimately finished in last place. But Shebel Al Jazeera continues the good day for Al Mohammedia Racing and Osama Hashim. Liam Canary, the jockey on this occasion.
Well, the Al Mohammedia team back out on track to greet this winner, Shebel Al Jazeera. Fourth victory for the colours of Al Mohammedia Racing as they celebrate on the track. First victory this afternoon, though, for winning jockey Liam Canary. On fire indeed. Well done, Liam. A super experienced horse. And the experience paid off today.
Yeah, he's a very, he knows his track really well. Obviously, and he's a very tough horse once he gets to the front like that and gets on the rail. He's a tough horse to pass.
Yeah, you got in front quite early as well.
Yeah, that's it. He likes to get on with it, and he's quite a free-going horse, and he goes down last. I think the more you interfere with him, the more harm you do to him. Just let him gallop, really.
4 winners on the board for Al Mohammedia Racing. You're very much part of the team. And what is it? Why are they having such success at the moment?
Sheikh Sultan is a great supporter of racing in Bahrain, and they've got a very good team of owners and of trainers and horses, and it's a very strong team this year, and hopefully it can continue.
Well, congratulations then, our winning jockey, Liam Canary. Congratulations to all then connected with Al Mohammedia Racing. Shebel Al Jazeera winning our 7th race, the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup.
Result of the 7th race, domestic grade 2 action there for the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup. First, number 4, Shebel Al Jazeera. Second, number 5, Chimgan. Third, number 3, Memento. And fourth, number 2, May Star. The distances 3/4 of a length and a nose, 3/4 of a length and a nose. And the official time of the winning horse, 1 minute 37.324. That's 1 minute 37.324.
So we come to the trophy presentation for our 7th race, the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup. And delighted to welcome Humphrey Butler himself onto the stage to present the trophy. He's alongside Victoria and Tori, who are modelling the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery themselves, looking beautiful. And congratulations, a 4th winner for Al Mahamadia Racing. Shabil Al Jazeera winning the 7th race this afternoon, under jockey Liam Canary, trained by Osama Hashim. So Shebel Al Jazeera and Al Mahamadia Racing victorious again in the Humphrey Butler Fine Jewellery Cup.
And on to our 8th and final race of the day. More graded action, domestic grade 2 here, the ALUMINIUM BAHRAIN ALBA Cup over 2,400 metres, so the longest race distance-wise on today's card. 3 runners going to post. Number 1 is Encourage, Neil Callan. 2, Rayunpur, Paul Hannigan. And 3, Tall Order, Andrew Breslin. Just to confirm, number 4, Level Pitch, has been scratched. That's a non-runner, number 4. 3 to go to post, race 8 coming up.
Let's have a look then at Encourage, horse number 1 in our final race here this afternoon. Encourage, one of the highest rated horses in training over here, bred by the late Queen. Used to be in training with Roger Charlton in the UK, but now enjoying his 2nd season over here. He's a 6-time winner, last seen winning on the in the National Day Cup back in the mid-December. Neil Callan rides him again. He's won a domestic grade 1, dropping down in class today to grade 2, and he's the one to beat. Horse number 1, Encourage.
Number 2 is Rayunpur. Rayunpur was a winner 2 outings back. Chased home Encourage last time, was beaten a total of 5 lengths on that occasion by Encourage. Rayunpur, a dual course and distance winner for Adiat Racing. Paul Hannigan and Alan Smith is one bred by His Highness the Aga Khan Studs.
And the last horse then of the trio is horse number 3, Tall Order, trained by Jalil Al-Mala. Andrew Breslin takes the ride on this horse, a 2-time winner. Last seen finishing well beaten, well behind Encourage back in that National Day Cup. So looking to turn the tables on that one. That's horse number 3 then, the Al-Mala Syndicate owned Tall Order.
So the three runners are now stepping out onto the track for our 8th and final race of the day, this domestic Grade 2 race, the Aluminium BAHRAIN ALBA Cup, longest race on the card. They're going over a distance of 2,400 metres, mile and a half if you prefer, and it's a short hop to the start, just the three of them. Red colours, gold braid, white sleeves, white cap of number 1, Encourage. Dark blue with the white epaulets, number 2, Rayon Pour. And in the black and white colours of Al-Mala Syndicate, that's number 3, Tall Order. So only got far to go to get to the start. So 3 runners making their way to post for our final race of the day. The 3 runners have arrived at the start for race 8, the Aluminium BAHRAIN ALBA Cup, Grade 2. They're loading the stalls. Tall Order, the first one to load, joined by Encourage. Rayon Pour to complete the lineup. All 3 are in. Racing. 2,400 metres in front of them for the Aluminium BAHRAIN ALBA Cup, a domestic Grade 2. Encourage began well up along the inside. Tall Order, widest of all, and Rayon Pour goes into the first turn between horses and in last spot. So they negotiate the first bend, and it's Encourage and Neil Callan taken on for the lead by Andrew Breslin aboard Tall Order in the black and white jacket. They move on down the side of the track, and Paul Hannigan sits at the back aboard Rayon Pour. And the front 2 have got around about 4 or 5 lengths now on Rayon Pour as they go on down the side. So it is Tall Order, the leader. Tall Order, the outsider of the 3. Tall Order by about a length to Encourage, and then a break of around about 5 or 6 lengths to Rayon Pour as they approach the final 1,600 and the back straight. So Tall Order makes the running. A winner here last winter. Tall Order by about a length and a half. Make it a length now to Encourage. Encourage who won really well, beating Rainpour by 5 lengths last time. Rainpour just gives the other two a start as they move on down the far side. Rainpour in search of a third course and distance success. Less than 1,400 to go. Tall Order, Encourage and Rainpour as they go midway down the back straight. No change in that order. Andrew Breslin aboard Tall Order, with Encourage now taken along the outside in the hands of Neil Callan, Paul Hannigan and Rainpour still last of the trio as they leave the back with less than 1,000 to go. Tall Order from Encourage. Tall Order with this lead of about a half length over Encourage, and now just only 2 lengths or so behind the front two is Rainpour, making the run inside the last 800, coming towards the final bend, and it's Tall Order with Encourage now joining issue at the top of the straight with 600 metres left to go. It's Tall Order just being pushed along by Andrew Breslin. Neil Callan sitting pretty aboard Encourage as he joined a Tall Order, and now Paul Hannigan is asking Rainpour to join the party. They have got 400 metres left to go, and Encourage is going to have to work here. Encourage, Tall Order is very game on the far side, and Rainpour staking a massive claim on the wide outside with 200 metres left to go, and Rainpour's hit the front from Encourage. Tall Order has dropped to third, heading down to the last 100 metres. It's Rainpour from the rallying Encourage. Rainpour in front. Encourage is coming back at Rainpour. Encourage has clawed his way to the front where it counted. Encourage beats Rainpour, a thriller. Tall Order back in third. So Encourage has taken it there. It was a really good finish between Encourage and Rainpour. And Paul Hannigan and Rainpour sat at the back of the field early on, hit the front. Encourage had to fight. It certainly wasn't a cakewalk, and Encourage has gamely fought for Neil Callan, Hisham Al-Haddad and Al Mohammedia Racing. Big run there from Rainpour. That was a massive run there from Rainpour as they hit the line. They went a few lengths clear. Tall Order, who has run a big race there. I suppose it's fair to say the outsider of the trio, Tall Order. So provisionally, it's Encourage who beats Rainpour and Tall Order in a thriller.
Five winners on the afternoon for Al Mohammedia Racing. What a day for them. Let's have a word with winning jockey Neil Callan. Neil, that was the best finish of the day. You had to work hard there.
Yeah, look, he's a very tenacious, strong, staying type. You know, when the other horse was intent on going on, he went to slow it down. I thought, you got to keep him honest, you know. Fauzi's a little bit worried, and Hesham were a little bit worried because he had a little bit of a setback in the week. Just weren't sure if he's quite 100% fit. So, but one thing you can't take away from him is his will to win. Like, I mean, he'd go around another lap.
You felt like he was going to get beaten at one point. He came back again and again, like almost 3 times, really.
It probably didn't. It probably looked at like that on the TV. But I always felt, because I know the horse so well, I knew when the horse came out on my outside, it only came a half a length in front of me, and I thought, no, you need to find a bit more than that, because I knew this fella would grind it out. And look, he's a very tough, willing horse, and you always need that.
And he's going to be running in the big races this season again?
Yeah, I don't know whether they want to travel him. The Saudi's coming up and there's Dubai starting, so they might want to take him on the international stage. I don't know, but you know, as long as there's plenty of staying races here for decent money, he's going to take a bit of beating.
And just finally, you've been part of some big days for Al Mohammedia Racing, but today again, almost the best this season, another 5-timer for the team.
Yeah, like I mean, they told me not to come too early. The horses are just coming to the boil come December, and they were true to the word since I arrived. You know, I was a little bit worried because I was thinking, these horses are not quite fit. But God, the last 3 weeks they've really turned around. So, you know, it's not just one person or another, it's a whole team.
As well, they are certainly super fit and super in form at the moment. Congratulations, Neil Callan, our winning jockey of our final race. But really, congratulations to all of the team, everyone as part of Al Mohammedia Racing, enjoying a 5-timer here today. Encourage wins our 8th and last race.
And the results of the final race of the day, race 8, domestic grade 2 action, the Aluminium BAHRAIN ALBA Cup. First, number 1, Encourage. Second, number 2, Rayon Pour. And third, number 3, Tall Order. The distances, a neck and 2 3/4 lengths. That's a neck and 2 3/4 lengths. The official time of the winning horse, 2 minutes 34.099. 2 minutes 34.099. Great day for Al Mohammedia Racing. 5 winners on the day. Hisham Al Haddad 3 and Neil Callan 3. Encourage, bred by Her Majesty the Queen, wins our finale.
So we come to the trophy presentation for our 8th and final race, the Aluminium BAHRAIN ALBA Cup, domestic Grade 2, won by Encourage. And thank you again, once again, to our sponsors, His Excellency Sheikh Dej bin Salman Al Khalifa, again presenting the trophy. Again, to Al Mohammedia Racing, Encourage, winning this final race under jockey Neil Callan, trainer Hisham Al Haddad, part of a wonderful 5-timer for the outfit.
I don't need an interview. I just want a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture. Okay, put your five fingers up.
Well, what a day it has been. A busy afternoon, 8 races, and an incredible day for Al Mohammedia Racing, winning 5 of them. Delighted to be joined by Darren Owen, made his way down from the commentary box. Darren, a day that had a bit of everything, some really competitive big fields, and then the final race with just the 3 runners. Absolutely fabulous finish. Did you enjoy the day?
Absolutely, yeah. A thriller to the final race with Encourage just wrestling back the glory from Rayanpur. But what a great day, as you say, for Al Mohammedia Racing. 5 winners in the day, but it just doesn't end there. They have to take the 2 big events as well.
Yeah, let's reflect then on those 2 Bahrain Turf Series races. Dark Shadow took the first one. Al Mohammedia Racing had a number of fancied runners in this, no more than Nomadic Empire, who won the sprint race just a few weeks ago. But Dark Shadow, Hector Crouch, jockey there, really felt going to the start. He said that the horse really felt like he's returning to some good form. He perhaps hasn't, he's been knocking on the door in some big races, but disappointed against Nomadic Empire last time. But a fabulous race by Dark Shadow.
Yeah, he certainly found his feet today, Dark Shadow, who was in good form last winter as well, winning by a length today. Good effort from the second horse, I thought. Watcher, running for the first time for George Baker. George really means business, doesn't he, this season?
Yeah, I think he's really selected the horses, coming out here, gaining a bit of experience last year, knowing exactly what type of horses do run very well here. I think the international trainers have sort of learned, and he's very much gone shopping for horses that are going to do well here. So Watcher is definitely one to follow in the next turf sprint race. So Dark Shadow beating Watcher, with Nomadic Empire, the previous winner, doing well, coming in 3rd under Neil Callan. But I think Dark Shadow really had the run of the race, didn't he? Ideal conditions for him. He likes a strong pace, and he got that that today.
He certainly got that today, and it was interesting. Unlike the 1,000-metre race we had here a few weeks ago, where they were right across the course and basically split into two groups, today they raced as one. They ended up over on the far rail, but Hector Crouch always looking happy aboard Dark Shadow. Watch your second, and valuable points there for Nomadic Empire as far as the Turf Series goes, with a win and a third-placed effort. And also, let's talk about Fighter Pilot as well. Fighter Pilot, again, who was a little bit disappointing, well held last time, but he was finding his feet today in fourth place.
Yeah, one to watch for our next sprint race. Let's have a look at let's reflect on the Aldana Cup, which was the 2,000-metre turf race. And Safi Osborne sort of took the race by the scruff of the neck and really led most of the way. Inigo Jones, an improved performance there. She had a nice position throughout, but in the end was sort of reeled in by the Kovacs kid, and what a welcome. The Kovacs kid came here with a big reputation. As I said, trained in the UK by Amy Murphy. I know that Amy was disappointed to lose the horse from her yard, because she thought that there's some big prizes still to win with him. And he was fabulous, winning his third race on the trot here in Bahrain, and a horse with a bright future.
Wouldn't you just love to own the Kovacs kid with a number of wins now on the board this year? He used to race over shorter trips in the UK, but he's really stepped up here in Bahrain, winning now over 2,000 metres, and has actually won over 2,400 as well. But yes, he's a grand horse to own. What a Welcome's come from off the pace. Good run there from What a Welcome. Stayed on, beaten 2 1/4 lengths in the second. And I'm sure Jamie Osborne staff will be really pleased with the way Inigo Jones has gone about his business today. Different tactics today, tried to make all the running, but still a creditable third.
Yeah, and Marie's Diamond in fourth, an improved run for that one as well, for Roger Fell. But yeah, lovely to see What a Welcome returning to some good form. A horse that won the King's Cup back in 2020, a lightly raced horse, and a fabulous run in behind what could be a super talent in the Kovacs kid. So we have really enjoyed our 2 Turf Series races today. There's also been 2 domestic Grade 2s, and we just mentioned there briefly what a cracking finish that was with Encourage beating Rayanpur. And you know, you often think with it might not be such a brilliant spectacle with the 3-horse race, but what a finish, what a way to end the day.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a race like that, and you're expecting, you know, the short price. Well, what we would suspect to be a short price favourite in Encourage to win in second gear, but it wasn't the case. Paul Hannigan gave him the start aboard Rayanpur, and he really did put it up to Neil Callan, and he hit the front aboard Rayanpur. But all credit to Encourage, as Neil said, very game horse, and Encourage has wrestled back the glory from Rayanpur, and a big run from Tall Order, because Tall Order was only, you know, beaten around about 3 lengths in the end.
Yeah, a cracking finish to the day. You saw the list there of winners up on the big screen, but let's remind ourselves of the closing stages of all 8 races.
One over on the far side, trying to hold on to the advantage from Krushan, and then Al Hamdani on the extreme outside. Musanan 18-11. Al Zaklawi is still in there pitching. Quite a few chances inside the final 200 metres. And over on the far side, Musanan 17-81 from Krushan. Over the top, Musanan 18-11. Going close home, Musanan 17-81 from Krushan. Musanan 17-81 holds on. Krushan second place. Musanan 18-11 is third, followed by Al Hamd, and takes a couple of lengths out of 400 metres. It's December from Ahad, then several lengths opening up to Latif, who's boxing on in third, Fiada fourth. They're going to come in big intervals behind inside the last 200 metres, and it is December in front of Ahad. It was the other way around when they met last time, but not today. December by about 2.5 lengths. Neil Callan grabbed the race by the scruff of the neck about 400 metres from home and took it. December the winner. Ahad really well inside the final 400, and it is Watcher who is in front. Here's Dark Shadow the Grey, and Fighter Pilot over on the far side with the white cap Nomadic Empire inside the final 200 metres, and the lead on the near side is Dark Shadow. It's Dark Shadow from Watcher in second place. Dark Shadow, Watcher, Nomadic Empire, Fighter Pilot, T-Nark going towards the finish. It is Dark Shadow and Hector Crouch from Watcher in second place. Third goes to Nomadic Empire, Fighter Pilot, T-Nark, who is the Kovacs kid, who's forced to switch to the inside with Classical Wave against the running rail. Out wide, What a Welcome's coming home nicely from off the pace. place, heading down towards the last 200. Inigo Jones in front, but the door is open on the inside for the Kovacs kid, and the Kovacs kid doesn't need any second invitation with 100 metres left to go. It's the Kovacs kid who's on this winning roll. Neil Callan aboard the Kovacs kid. That's 7 wins this calendar year. The Kovacs kid, the winner. Tight places. What a welcome. Inigo Jones, Marie's Diamond just from Atlal, Snake Eyes, and now Battle of Talas with the outside coming there with a big run for Paul Hannigan, just carrying his head to one side. But Battle of Talas is getting to Bint Al Jazeera as they head down towards the last 200. It's Battle of Talas being coaxed into the lead from Bint Al Jazeera in second. Maghera is back in third, and then comes the weakening Atlal, and eventually inside the last 100 metres, Battle of Talas is on top. Battle of Talas will win again. Second place, Bint Al Jazeera. Maghera's in third, Daylight to the others. Atlal fourth place, followed by Wathab, and Snake Eyes is last. With Wafire looking for a way through, heading down towards the final 300, and it's Jabara in front. Kawafi is coming at Jabara. They're the front two. Lahoog is just in behind them with Katie Elder. Lyra is on the extreme outside, followed by Wafire. 200 to go. Kawafi, the leader from Lyra, and between horses is Wafire as they head towards the finish. Kawafi, Lyra to the wide outside. Wafire between runners. It's Kawafi doing enough. Kawafi the winner. Wafire, Lyra involved for places along with Jabara. The ball is Memento and Maystars trying to get competitive. They're inside the final 400. It's Shebel Al Jazeera and Chimgan. Mr. McCann yet to pick up fully. On the wide outside is Memento, heading down towards the last 200 metres, and Shebel Al Jazeera is making them all go here, making them all work. Chimgan's in second place. On the outside, Maystar and Memento. It is Shebel Al Jazeera who's trying to hold on. They're coming at Shebel Al Jazeera. Shebel Al Jazeera and Chimgan. Shebel Al Jazeera the winner. Shebel Al Jazeera the winner. Chimgan in a close call with Memento for places and Mace. They have got 400 metres left to go, and Encourage is going to have to work here. Encourage, Tall Order is very game on the far side, and Rayanpur staking a massive claim on the wide outside with 200 metres left to go, and Rayanpur's hit the front from Encourage. Tall Order has dropped to third, heading down to the last 100 metres. It's Rayanpur from the rallying Encourage. Rayanpur in front. Encourage is coming back at Rayanpur. Encourage has clawed his way to the front where it counted. Encourage beats Rayanpur, a thriller. Tall Order back in.
Well, a cracking afternoon of sport. 8 races. We really enjoyed our time here. Racing again resumes here at the Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club on Friday and Saturday, but we'll be back for the next Bahrain Turf Series in 2 weeks' time. We'll see you then.